Sorry for the inconvenience. We are getting going now. Qualifying was in a separate video for people who want to watch. The grid has been edited, so people who qualified are going to be where they qualify now. Techno Sizzle and Random Kitty Captain joined late. They will be starting from the back of the grid behind Fam, who was unable to set a lap, as we are going to get going now on this random weather that will happen in Australia. It was raining during qualifying, so if it's dry, it doesn't even matter about tyre choices. So we've 29 laps ahead of us. Let's see what happens. By the way, people who are seeing this and haven't joined, I have a video on my YouTube channel of the Discord link if you'd like to join. Same if people are seeing this maybe on TikTok. These are free to join. There is one free space left, and there's plenty of reserves. You can be a reserve driver, as there's not everyone is going to be at the race because of obviously there's only made it today, so we will need 6 or 7 reserves almost every week. And the most consistent reserves will be the ones that will get the seat next season. So if there's a high enough demand, there'll be a tier 2. So it's going to be hopefully going to be a great year as we start this race in Australia with hopefully some controversy, but not too much. It's Lucas Paul with a rapid lap time that's going to lead us away here in Australia. So it's going to be Lucas Paul that leads us away on the formation lap. Hopefully for a great race. It's Jake Mate behind him, Emilio 98 Robalino just a bit behind it. Jake Mate's going to have to catch up. Obviously Tank Carlin's ahead. You may receive a penalty if you're too far behind, so he's going to have to catch up. Mixo behind him. Fam has been disqualified for unknown reason. Parallel Silk behind him. Pushing C, Stuffy, Marshy, Charlie Blake, and then Techno Sizzle and Random Kitty Captain. We haven't actually seen either of those yet this season. Random Kitty Captain was in practice in Spain that was held behind closed doors. There was no stream, there's no anything about it, but obviously he did win the race, so he could be maybe a threat from the back of the grid. Lucas Paul's rapid lap time, I mean, he could be a threat to lead us away here in Australia on this bright and sunny day, other than yesterday where it was pouring rain, then on Saturday where Lucas Paul set the fast lap. It's Jake May just behind him on the front row. He's been proven in many other leagues before. He'll want to hopefully win this one. Lucas Paul goes round turn 15 and now round turn 16 and onto the main straight as we're going to get going here in Australia. So here we go, as Random Kitty Captain lines up on the grid. We are going to get ready to go here. Here we go, to 5 red lights here at the Australian Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. It's a solid start for Lucas Paul as it's Jake May almost drags alongside. He sits in behind as we get away here. As we go through the pack, everyone stays clean. Mixel just onto the grass. Everyone with a very, very clean getaway here. Lucas Paul keeps the lead. as Stuffy goes for an overtake on Oisín. They're side by side here. Marshy getting very, very close to Fam, who's going to try line up a move and then is getting attacked by Sizzle. Charlie Blake, don't know what happened to him. He's gone back down to P13. Stuffy gets the move done, but Marshy fighting back here. He's having a go. Stuffy gets him to the wall. It's a big crash. Oh, what a crash. Stuffy into the wall along with Marshy. And Stuffy is the one that gets the worst of it, down to P13. There'll be instance and reports about that later on. Dylan got by Mixel. He's going to look to chase after the pack now, but he's 1.5 seconds behind. Another incident down the back. It's Oisín C, who must have spun out from P7. He's just in the points position now, behind Fams, the two Haas, as always, the back markers. Oisín C with no front wing. I think Stuffy may got damage. I think Fam definitely did. He does have a small bit of front wing damage. Them two will both be into the pits, and a virtual safety car is it. Wow, this is going to get interesting real quick as Oisín, oh, he may have bumped into Stuffy there. I don't know what happened there. Stuffy's really struggling for grip, and Techno Sizzle gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He must have got a slight damage. Don't think there's any penalties given out other than the one for pit lane. Yes, Techno Sizzle got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So, as we run through the positions now, Oisín C gone from P7 down to P13 in his race. Unless there's a safety car later on, could be ruined. Fam just gone down one from P11. He got really unfortunate from Stuffy being spun out. There's nothing he could really do about that. He was a bystander in that. He's going to have to let Techno Sizzle there through. And Random Kitty Captain actually got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. He's going to have to serve that now once this is over. That's going to be really frustrating. He had such a good start. He's gone from P13 all the way up to P5. He'll be very frustrated in that, as Parallel Silk spins and could go into Fam here. Oh, it was very close. Oh, he almost took out Stuffy there. That was so close there. Very dangerous driving from the Red Bull driver. Very lucky. DRS now enabled as Lucas Paul starts to just get away from its Jake Mate, but its Jake Mate may be able to fight back here, as Emilio 98 Robalino is staying very close to its Jake Mate as the front is kind of stretching out. Stuffy picks up the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Random Kitty Captain serving his drive-through, and Parallel Silk is in for his crash in the chicane. It's been an amazing start to this race. Techno Sizzle gets back up into the points positions, even with his 5-second penalty. He'll want to maybe bring some hope for Mercedes, since his teammate Charge is unable to make it today. So the person who actually got the best there was Random Kitty Captain. Despite his drive-through, he's into P9. So he's gone a bit lucky there. Getting the drive-through, he could have been in P8, but instead it is P9. He still gained 4 positions and is in the points positions. Marshy gone from P9 to P6. It'll be a very solid finish from him, and a driver who's actually struggling for some pace here. Dylan gets up 1 position. He overtook Mixel, I think, on the first lap there, and them two have been scrapping ever since, as Mixel may line up and have a go here on ITB Dylan. It's Jake Mate set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as he looks to chase after Lucas Paul. It's very close here between Dylan and Mixel. Will Mixel make the move? They're the only two other than Charlie Blake and Stuffy who are neck and neck. Can Charlie Blake maybe have a go at Stuffy? Just doesn't really have that acceleration that Stuffy does, and it's very standstill at the moment. So those two really the only ones battling, but the ones that's important is this battle here for P4, the battle for 10 points, and possibly to maybe have a go at a podium with Emilio 98 Robalino ahead, and it's Jake May. It's Jake May also getting very close to Lucas Paul. He maybe will line up a move for the race lead. It's Jake May gets very close to the curb there, but he's kept it on the track. Possibly going to line up a move on Lucas Paul soon. As Mixo getting so close to ITB Dillon, and if he keeps it close here, he may be able to have a go on the pit straight. Jake May gets back to only 1 second behind, and Charlie Blake has stepped off from Stuffy, and Stuffy's starting to gain on Mixo. As here goes, or starting to gain on Marshy. Here's Mixo on ITB Dillon. Will he make the move down the inside? They go side by side into turn 1. Mixo backs out, waits for this second DRS straight. He's going to have to get good acceleration if he wants to make a move. DRS wide open here. Dillon defends to the inside. Mixo's going to try one round the outside. Dillon defends deep. Runs a little bit wide. Mixo maybe going to have a go again. Dillon defends well. Excellent defending from the AlphaTauri driver on the Alpine. These two are really the only ones battling other than this Jake May, but this one is a excellent battle. Techno Sizzle, another penalty for him. He has a 10-second time penalty now. It's going to be very tough for him. He's going to have to at least get 10 seconds ahead of Oisin if he wants to score a point today. Here we go. Here goes Mixo on ITB Dillon again. He's gotten very close, but he has breezed ahead there into P4. And now, if he has the pace, he'll chase down Emilio Robalino, but Dillon is still right behind him here. Can Dillon line up a move on Mixo? Don't think he can. Mixo looks to be gaining away here. And that's unlucky for Dillon. He's had such a good start. He's gained... He actually hasn't gained any, but he gained 1 position off him on the start. But I don't think he's going to be able to keep up. A player, or a driver, I should say, who is catching up is this Jake May, getting just so close to Lucas Paul, but I don't think he's ever close enough to make a move. Into turns 9, 10, and down this straight just before the 11-12 chicane. There looks to be a bit of an incident. It's Pham. Pham's gone into the barriers. I don't know what's happened here. We'll see now as random Kitty Captain comes round this corner. I think he just lost it. Oh no, he hasn't. What? I think he's manually retired there. That could be something, as it's Jake May has retired. Where is he retired? He's retired on the final corner. He must have spun into the barriers. That's so unlucky for him. He was so close, but just could not quite catch up to Lucas Paul. But it's going to get very close now as the pack can catch up as the safety car is out. Mixel, I think, is going to stay out. No, he hasn't. He's gone long. So it's going to be Emilio 98 Robalino. He does not come into the pits. He takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Lucas Paul, who did pit, is going to come out in P3. He's in a really good position here. So unlucky for it's Jake May. Was so close to Lucas Paul, but this race is really lined up for him now. Emilio and Mixo behind them, or in front of him, they haven't stopped yet. Marshy, all the way up to P4 now. So, Marshy, Stuffy, also gains from that. Charlie Blake, Stuffy's already pitted. He has to pit again though. He pitted onto softs, but... Oh no, Stuffy hasn't pitted. Okay, that's interesting. So he catches up. He's up into P5. Charlie Blake, P6. ITB Dillon, he has stopped under the safety car, I think. He's into P7. Oisin, who was already stopped, he's still in P8. He'll catch up now. Same with Random Kitty Captain, Techno Sizzle, and Parallel Silk, who obviously spun in the 12-13 chicane. or 11-12 chicane, he'll be also able to catch up. So, very interesting here. The race is lined up for the Ferrari man of Lucas Paul. This is probably going to be another lap of the safety car before we get racing again. So unlucky for its Jake May, and very, very dangerous from Pham to retire just on track, because there was nothing wrong with him. There was no terminal damage. He just clicked manually retired. So he'll have to get some footage for that, otherwise he'll be maybe penalised. Is that Parallel Silk who was too quick there, and he also, I think, DNF'd there. I did not see that at all, but that is very, very dangerous, and I suppose unlucky for the Red Bull man here. His teammate is leading the way, him and P11 possibly had a chance to catch up. DNF's under the safety car. Roman Grosjean, very unlucky for him. Techno Sizzle, the only fast man on track, he catches up to Random Kitty Captain. With 21 laps left to this Grand Prix, it's going to be very, very interesting. Emilio 98 Robalino is going to have to get a good start. Lucas Paul on fresh mediums here, although I don't think mediums will go to the end. Lucas Paul may have to stop again, and that might be the idea for Emilio Robalino. He may stretch these softs and go for the one stop onto the hards, and then Lucas Paul will probably pit again, maybe onto even softs, if he can stretch the mediums long enough. ITB Dylan is in AI mode. I think he disconnected. Don't know if he'll be in it. Safety car is in and we're on the way. Mixel has kept with Emilio 98 Robalino and maybe lining up a move into turn one. He hasn't. One who is going to line up a move is Stuffy, possibly. He had to cut the corner. He may have to back off, but he's not. He's going to have a go at Marshy here. Will he line up the move down the inside? It's not going to be a lunge from Stuffy. Lucas Paul, what looked to be race leader, spins, and his race is surely ruined there. Wow. That's really unfortunate for him. He's going to have to make a comeback from the back to rescue some points here, but the race win was lined up for anyone. Emilio 98 Robalino, Mixel, Stuffy got by Marshy there while we are looking at Lucas Paul. He's up into the podium position now. So who will win this race is the real question. It is lined up for everyone, as Mixel may be going for a move on Emilio 98 Robalino. He doesn't, he backs off, maybe waiting for DRS to open. I think that's lap 11 when that'll reopen, as Marshy getting very, very close to Stuffy. Brakes very late, he's almost onto the grass, and that's great for Stuffy. He's going to get a great exit there, as Marshy almost into the pit lane, has to cut the white line. Charlie Blake is into the pit lane. He's going to make, I think, his first stop of the day. O'Sheen having a very poor race, but he's still in P10. He's still going to score points if he finishes the last 19 laps. Lucas Paul, he's coming into the pit lane to get this damage, and he's going to have to hope for another safety car if he wants to gain some more positions. It's going to look like it's going to be P9 otherwise, possibly P10 as Oisin comes around the final corner and overtakes him. Random Kitty also had damage. He's back out onto the mediums for 19 laps. I don't know if they'll go to the end, but it's going to be very close. He's going to have to catch up to Charlie Blake, the two Williams, and Oisin ahead. Now, one man, Techno Sizzle on the mediums, still has his 10-second penalty, but he is 16 seconds ahead of Oisin, so if he keeps it well here, he could be in for a P7. One man who's in a great position is Stuffy. Came into this race at P8 and is now in the podium positions to bring home mega points for the Haas today, as his teammate couldn't do the same. And Stuffy, I don't know, is he into the pits? He is, he's into the pits. So Mixel takes the lead as Emilio Robalino's also in a great time as DRS is enabled, and he's onto the mediums. Maybe he's onto for a two-stop too, Emilio 98 Robalino, or could stretch these. Well, if he'd done the softs in 11, why couldn't he do the mediums in 18? We'll see. Marshy, he stays out. He's going to try maybe a massive overcut on Stuffy. ITB Dillon into P3. I don't know if that's him or if it's his AI. As we'll find out, because AI is very, very slow. It's a yellow flag into Sector 1. I think it's just Stuffy who went onto the grass. He's going to get close to Techno Sizzle here. Stuffy's going to have to be quick if he wants to gain on Mixel, who was in P2. He's going to have to get a massive undercut. Stuffy is actually onto the softs. He's maybe making a two-stop here. Techno Sizzle, actually I think it's in AI mode. I don't know where he has gone. Must be have been paused. Must be paused. I don't remember him leaving the session. P6 is his AI. Robalino also on ITV Dillon. Yep, ITV Dillon is in AI mode. He'll be extremely slow and most likely overtaken by the virtual race leader at the moment. It's a lovely undercut from Emilio Robalino. Keeps it steady. P3. Mixel's in the pits now. Did that little bit of hold up from ITB Dillon slow 98 Robalino down enough? It's going to be close. Mixel just changed his tyres. He's on the way out. I think he's going to take the lead. Robalino comes down the pits. It's going to be extremely close. Both of them. I think Mixel's done the overcut here. He has. Mixel takes the proper lead in the race, but Robalino is going to pull side by side here. Just could not quite. It's going to be extremely close now between these two. These are neck and neck. Almost wheel to wheel. Stuffy couldn't quite get the overcut, but he's right there. You can see them ahead of him as he gains a little bit of a lead on ITB Dillon. Lucas Paul gets the fastest lap. He's starting to gain on Random Kitty Captain and Oisin on Charlie Blake. These two are having a bit of a battle here, but the battle to watch is Emilio Robalino and Mixel. Have to see how it will go. And Emilio Robalino, despite having not as fresh tyres, does go around the outside. Is that tactical from Mixel to possibly gain the DRS now for the two straights here? Or is Robalino just that quick? We'll have to see. Mixel around the final corner, lining up possibly a move on Emilio 98 Robalino. DRS activated. He's not going to get the move done on this straight, but is less than 2/10, less than 3/10 behind him for the second straight. Will he have enough here? I don't think he will. I think Robalino, that move by Robalino is going to be crucial for the race win, as the Red Bull driver in last minute to replace Parallel Silk's friend Ashton 9002, who was practicing in Spain. He left Robelino in, and he's into the race lead here with his second stop at the Grand Prix, and I think that would be his last. Stuffy just cannot quite catch up to the leader. They're very quick. Marshy on the freshest of all tyres. He is struggling to catch up to Stuffy's almost onto the grass. The rest I think are in AI. ITB Dylan, Charlie Blake is real. Bushian, I think Techno Sizzle. He's not going to be able to get P9, he's in P10, and it's a tough race for him. So Techno Sizzle will cruise to the end of the race and pick up the P10 despite being in AI mode. There should be no problem for him. Lucas Paul, P9, he has 15 laps to catch up and make his way through the field, and I think the best he'll probably get is there's a big train of cars ahead of him, and then I think that's it, as Stuffy is into the pits again. I don't know why. I think he may have got wing damage, and that is so unfortunate for him. He's down to P10 now. He was in the podium positions, and he's going to have to hope for another safety car from somebody and maybe have a go at catching up. That's so unfortunate for the Haas driver. He was in such a good position and then must have got slight wing damage. I don't know where from, but the damage is there. So Lucas Paul, P8, going to go for the move on Dylan for P7. Lucas Paul is a nice move down the inside of Dylan. He's up into P7 and now he has chasing to do. There's a big gap all the way. A podium is on for Lucas Paul if he's really quick enough and gets his head down. Next up for him is Ushin C, as Emilio 98 Robelino leads the way, and I think he's going to take home a comfortable race win here unless a mistake causes Mixel to catch up. Both very similar ERS. Marshy struggling on the ERS. He's in a podium position now. If he can just keep it calm for the next 14 laps and defends the quick Lucas Paul, he may be able to keep this podium, but he has 14 laps to do it. He's going to have to pick up the pace. Lucas Paul could be an amazing comeback here and a well-deserved driver of the day if he does get the podium. There's a yellow flag into sector 1. It's Stuffy who's spun again. It's gone from bad to worse for the Haas driver. He's gotten more. All he had to do was keep the car straight for the next 15 laps and it would have been a podium, but it's going to be P10 for him. Lucas Paul has got by Ushin, and next on his list is random Kitty Captain, who's a good bit ahead. Kitty Captain closing up to Charlie Blake here, hoping to nick P4 off him. Charlie and Kitty Captain gaining. Stuffy has left the session, didn't retire his car, he's left it in AI mode to pick up at P10 here. So Charlie Blake being really attacked here by random Kitty Captain. Maybe he can go for the podium position. He's overtook Charlie Blake for P4 and is 4 seconds behind Marshy to get the podium. Charlie Blake in P5, and he's going to have to worry because he has Lucas Paul behind him, who is absolutely rapid at the moment, the fastest man on track with the fastest lap. Dylan and Stuffy both into the pits. And it's actually looking good for Techno Sizzle here. If he keeps this going well, he may be able to pick up P8. Lucas Paul got by Charlie Blake. We missed that overtake. And now Lucas Paul has a tough car to overtake here. Random Kitty Captain, very, very quick, as well as Lucas. It's going to be a real right battle between them. It's going to be Lucas's hardest challenge here before going for Marshy and the podium. Both of them want that podium, but only one can get it. Marshy's going to have to defend like a lion if he wants to keep that podium position that he's currently sitting in. Maybe these two battling could help Marshy if they do get into a scrap here in the last 12 laps of this race. So, he's only 8 tenths behind Lucas Paul. This is going to be his toughest challenge yet to get by. He could have had the race win if he kept his car going after the safety car restart. He couldn't. So it's going to be a tough race for him, and he's going to have to get some redemption in Bahrain. He's lucky that his main rival today, it's Jake May, crashed out and caused the safety car. Or he may not be in the race at all. It's a yellow flag into sector 3 and it's Marshy. He was doing so well, but the podium definitely will not happen now. And now Lucas Paul's podium is right ahead of him now. There's no need to overtake any more cars. It's just random Kitty Captain, and he'll be on the podium with Mixel and Emilio Robalino. Here he goes down the old pit straight. Will he line up a move? He doesn't. He's backed out. Kitty Captain may be attacked again here by Lucas Paul. He's going to have a go around the outside. Will he get it done? Defending to the inside. It's very close. It's wheel to wheel. It's corner to corner. But Lucas Paul gets the move done and is up into P3. Excellent racing. And a fantastic overtake by the Ferrari driver to succeed his comeback. So, Robalino stretches his lead of Mixel. And a safety car would really hurt not only his race, but Mixel's race as well, as Marshy caused, I think, a little bit of a hazard there. He's 33 seconds behind Oisin, and I think if he just keeps it going, he can just pick up a measly P7 here, as there was such high hopes when he was in P3 for the majority of his race. He'll be so unlucky that he couldn't get the podium, but on his first race, on his first day in corner to corner racing, it's a P7 will be good positions. Nothing else really happening. Doesn't look like there will be anything to happen. Ooh, and Techno Sizzle, I think, is into the pits for his last pit stop. Don't know if he will stay ahead of Stuffy, who's been a right back marker now. Emilio, 98, Robinho overtook. I think it was it Charlie Blake or ITB Dillon, I don't know, but he's into P3. There's a yellow flag here. Oh, Charlie Blake losing it. And Ocean C, his teammate, gets by, as I think Lucas Paul, did he have an incident? No, he's into the pits again, onto the softs. Don't know what he's trying, but now he has 20 laps to catch up to Oisin and Random Kitty Captain. Don't know what he's trying there. He already had the fastest lap as far as I'm aware. He already has the fastest lap and was in P3. I don't know, maybe the tyres were very worn. He has a big job now to do to get back up into that podium position. It's 19 seconds for him. Such a great overtake he done to get by Random Kitty Captain, but couldn't keep the podium positions. He's into the pits, and on fresh softs you'd think he'll definitely get the fastest lap, and he'll definitely overtake Oisin C here ahead of him. He just has to get through the back marker of Stuffy first. He does. And now Oisin C ahead of him. Absolutely rapid. And I have a feeling that it may be tough for Random Kitty Captain if Lucas Paul does catch up to him in 7 laps time. Hasn't gone for the move yet, but he's definitely got to line one up here in the second DRS straight. Oisin is struggling. His hards are 12 laps old. He will defend, but Lucas Paul yet again maybe will have a go. Oisin defended well there, but ran a little bit wide, and Lucas Paul may have another go. He's kind of backed out. Oisin very aggressive defending, but very, very fair as well. Lucas Paul really, really close. He's gonna try maybe down the inside. Oisin aggressively defending. It needs to be very, very careful. He does not want to pick up a penalty here. Lucas Paul gonna have a go down the inside into the chicane. He's almost onto the grass. Maybe an Alex Albon overtake here. There's wheel to wheel, and he has to cut the corner, and just about keeps it ahead. Very aggressive defending, and Lucas Paul, I think, just cut the corner. Takes P4, loses a lot of time there. Now has a big 7 laps ahead to catch up to Random Kitty Captain. Mixo struggling for pace here, and his mediums, Robinho, just way too quick for him as far as race pace. But he'll pick up a P2 that he'll definitely like, as Charlie Blake spins again. Keeps it in P7, or he's lost actually the position in P7, as Marshy gains another position up to P6. It's been a pretty good comeback drive from the spin. Everyone struggles that 11-12 chicane. Spins a lot there, but I'm sure he'll be happy enough with a P6. So Lucas Paul, fastest man on track, the man who is chasing after Random Kitty Captain and is gaining tenths each corner. And I think that's another spin. Who is it for this time? It was for Oisin. Did he get much wing damage there from that? He did. He got left wing damage. He's going to have to come into the pits and most likely give up the position to Marshy, who will take P5. So as long as he can keep the car straight yet again, he'll probably take P5. If Oisin pits or not, yes he is. He's coming into the pits. Marshy will overtake, get into P5, and then that'll probably be his race, because I do not see the front runners lacking as Lucas Paul has gained 3 seconds in that lap. If he gains 3 seconds on the next 5 laps, he'll be side by side with Random Kitty Captain on the last lap of the Grand Prix. So he's going to have to keep up this pace, because the softs will wear. Will Charlie Blake get ahead of his teammate? He does. He gets ahead of Oisin 2. He's up in the P6. Marshy's up in the P5. If he can just keep his car going straight, doesn't spin, he'll take a P5 in his first race here at CTCR. Lucas Paul getting a bit of a toe off Dylan. More help for him on catching Random Kitty Captain. 5 laps to go, 13 seconds split between the podium runner and the man in 4th place. The man who maybe believes he should have won this race, but with mistakes, with no one to blame other than himself, he's fighting here to catch up for P3. I don't think with his move that overtook Random Kitty Captain the first time, the second time will have to be as good, because Random Kitty will not give that up that easy. Ten seconds between him and Random Kitty now. 4 seconds to go. Or 4 laps to go. So, he'll need 2.5 seconds per lap. We'll keep count. So, it was 10 seconds, and he needs 2.5 per lap. So he needs to be on 7.5 at the end of this lap. 5 at the end of the next. 20 past 10. The race should be finished around half. It's going to be very, very close finish. We may as well give the gold trophy here in Melbourne to Emilio Robalino. He has kept his car going. He's done everything right today, and it's going to take a race win because of that. Lucas still gaining on Random Kitty. He's going to have to defend like his life. It's one thing gaining on someone, another is overtaken. 4 laps to go. Robalino crosses the line. Random Kitty just into turn 14 now. And it is. He has 7 point. He has cut up. He done 3 seconds again that lap. It's definitely going to be neck and neck on lap 28 when Lucas does catch up. He's right ahead of him. He can see him now down the pit straight. But will he overtake? He's burning overtake, and so is Random Kitty. He wants to gain on his lead. It's going to be so close for the end of this race for the podium. What a first race this has been. Every single corner he's gaining tenths and tenths as the softs are wearing, but so are those mediums. They'll be 19 laps old at the end. As Lucas Paul's softs are only 6 laps. They're completely fresh. They weren't used in qualifying. It was a wet qualifying. 5 laps to go. 4 seconds with 3 laps to go. How close will this be? TechnoSuzo served all his penalties. He's catching up to Stuffy. Although that is AI's. We'll see how that will end up. I think TechnoSuzo's AI will overtake Stuffy. The Haas will only get 1 point. Emilio is actually losing time to Mixo here, but I think has the right to. I don't think Mixo will catch up. The man to look at right now is Lucas Paul. 4 seconds behind. Three seconds to Random Kitty. It is going to be a last lap overtake. 2 laps to go. As these two round the final corner. 2 seconds between the two. This is going to be 100. Oh, a Random Kitty has spun. Oh, it's tragic for the Alfa Romeo. He may have tried to put up a fight. And he's gone into the pit wall as well. He's going to have to keep his car straight. Marshy's far down the line. He should be okay. But he may have tried to put up a fight with Lucas Paul. He was unable to. And Lucas Paul is into the podium position. What a comeback drive from him. He made it harder for himself pitting again. Random Kitty will be so angry with himself despite still picking up 10 points for P4. So that's probably the end of things here in Australia. Mission complete for Lucas Paul. Comeback complete. He's into the podium position. As Mixo actually very gaining on Emilio Robolino. A lot of ERS used. Oh, and Robolino's ran wide. This is going to be a very intense last lap if Robolino is struggling. Machine C, the back marker, may want to re-overtake, but he's going to have to be careful. He's going to have to do it safely. I don't know why he would. 9 seconds between them two. I think Robolino may just let him through. Mixo's very, very close now. It's going to be tight. Robolino better let the back marker through. But if the back marker's too slow, Robolino could be in trouble. Although Ushin 5 laps off, he should gain. It's 1.7 seconds. Robolino is going to have to be careful here. Only 1.5 behind. This could be a last lap overtake for the win for Mixo. He's pushing his car to the limit. As Robolino, I don't know, is he in AI mode or is he... What is happening to him? He's just losing so much time. He's not in AI. He's just... The tyres are just not responding for him. Mixo's tyres are in nick condition. A second between them now. What an intense end to Australia. But I think Robolino is gonna win it anyway. He just has to keep it straight as there's no other overtake opportunities unless he spins like Random Kitty did. Turn 14. Turn 15 is up next. He overtakes the back marker. ITB Dillon gets so close, but he lets him through. There's tenths between them, but Robolino gets round the final corner, activates DRS, and wins the first race of the season here in Australia. Mixo takes home P2 after almost a last lap overtake. If he kept it, if Robolino kept that up, if there was 1 lap left, he may have fancied his chances. Lucas Paul, what a comeback drive after spinning. After the safety car, he takes home the podium. And Random Kitty captain will be so disappointed with himself. With only 2 laps to go, he was in the podium position. Even with Lucas defending, he could have defended and kept the position. He's gonna be happy enough to take home a P4. Round the final corner. P4, 10 points for Random Kitty. And then on his CTCR debut, well, everyone's CTCR debut, but Marshy's only been in the server an hour. before asked to do his first race. He's very close with Charlie Blake, and Charlie Blake has spun. Now that could be interesting. If Charlie Blake appeals that and sees what happens with Marshy, he could get the position. But Marshy keeps P5 for now and takes it home. I didn't realise those two are very, very close to each other. And he's on the grass. He's finished home for P5. And Charlie Blake, with a 6-7 finish for Williams, takes home P6 to finish off the race. What a race. What an opener. And Emilio 98 Robolino definitely made it intense for himself at the end, but still won the race. Random Kitty Captain gets driver of the day here, but the main driver of the day has to be Lucas Paul, 73, after that amazing comeback drive. So here he is, he's onto the podium now. One Red Bull driver DNFs in P11, the other wins the race. What a dramatic Australia we had, and an excellent first race for CTCR Racing.